Alright, what's up everybody, we're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we have the top 10 centers list in the NBA. I did the point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, and now we finally are to the centers. A lot of pretty good centers in this league. So the bottom of the list was kind of tough to make, but we pulled through and we made it. We're going to do that here today. Thank you guys for views on my videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications on, stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really helps out a lot. And yeah, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. Before we get right into it, disclaimer I did for all of the ranking videos. These are my personal opinions. If you think differently and don't agree with it, that's okay. You know, it doesn't really matter too much at the end of the day. You know, all basketball fans, we have all different opinions and stuff like that. So if you think differently than me, that's okay. You know, that's perfectly fine. Let's get it started. At number 10, I have Nikola Vucevic. Vucevic, in 82 games last year with the Bulls, averaged 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists per game while shooting 52% from the field and 35% from 3. He actually, to me, I feel like he had a pretty good season, you know? Even though he averaged pretty much similar numbers to what he did in his first in Chicago. Last year's felt a little bit more different. You know, he shot better from the field. I think he fit the team more and did more, even though statistically he kind of did the same. You know, hasn't been as great in Chicago as he was in Orlando, obviously, because his shots and his role has gone down significantly less. But, you know, he got paid in Chicago, and Chicago is a very weird spot right now. Of course, I said that for all the Bulls players that we had on this list, but for now, yeah, he's my number 10. He's still very good. You know, could score the ball pretty well, shoot the ball pretty well. Defensively, I'd like him to be a little better, obviously, but he's still very, very solid. So for number 10, I have Vucci Mane. At number 9, I have Miles Turner. Turner in 62 games last year with Indiana, 18 points, 7.5 rebounds, and assists, and over 2 blocks per game, while shooting 54% from the field and 37% from 3. Miles Turner had a career season last year. Had a career high in points, rebounds, not assists, but field goal percentage. Like, he had a really good year last year. You know, for an Indiana Pacers team, that was really good for the first start of the season. Then Tyrese Halliburton got hurt, he kind of went down, but yeah, he got a contract extension as well. Of course, we know he's been in the trade block for feels like ever since he got into the NBA, and now he's kind of finally officially here to stay in Indiana. It looks like, you know, like he had Miles Turner had a really good season. You know, scoring the ball, being a lot more aggressive and consistent in scoring down low in the paint, but also shooting the 3-ball pretty well. And then of course, you know what he's going to bring on the defensive end. And now without Sabonis there, he's kind of got more space, more freedom to be, you know, who he is. You know, and that Sabonis trade was big not only for the Pacers but for Miles Turner. That was a big thing for him, I feel like, as well. And now we're interested to see what he can do this year, if he can have another season like that, or is he going to go back to what we saw a few years ago, which is still really good. You know, still giving you a lot of blocks, good 3-point shooting, but now just the added scoring gives just another element, you know, to this Pacers team. At number 8, I have Brook Lopez. Lopez in 78 games last year in Milwaukee, averaged just under 16 points per game with 6 rebounds and assists and 2.5 blocks, while shooting 53% from the field and 37% from 3. Brook Lopez had a great year last year. 2022, he only played in 13 games due to injury. He had back and neck injuries and stuff like that. And this year he came back fully healthy, and he looked probably as good as he's ever looked in a very long time. You know, going inside, obviously he can do that. 3-point shot has been just magnificent. His career trajectory, his turnaround, his career has just been insane. He's probably the most valuable he's ever been right now. And then the shot blocking obviously was there as well. Again, as someone in Brooklyn that wasn't a bad interior defender, but he was more about, if he's not getting blocked, he's not really doing anything else defensive end. But now becoming an anchor in the inside and one of the best defenses in the league, it's just crazy. He got paid too, pretty good by Milwaukee. Standing there, being a championship winning center, you know, like he's just so good. You know, it's crazy that at 35, Brook Lopez is kind of in like the prime of his career, as some would say, because he's just been such a great fit in Milwaukee. At number 7, I have Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis In 65 games last year at Washington, he averaged 23 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1.5 blocks, while shooting 49% from the field and 38% from 3. Porzingis had an amazing year last year, probably arguably the best year of his career. I mean, he averaged career highs in points, and assists, shooting-wise, shot career field goal percentage. He had a really good year. He was healthy, first of all. 65 games, the most he's played since 2017. So he's healthiest he's been in a very long time. He looked as confident as he was in a very long time. The shooting ability, of course, was there, but also just him being comfortable getting down in the paint, and doing that, finding a role in Washington that really made him feel comfortable in doing that. Now he's in Boston, and so far through preseason in Boston, he's looked very good. He's going to be just a big add to this team. Just gives the team a whole nother look and dynamic, as a 7'3" guy that can play the power forward and center, can stretch the floor, can, score inside, can block some shots. Like, he can do so many things, and Celtics haven't had a guy like that. So he's going to bring a whole lot to the Celtics team. But yeah, Porzingis had a really good year, and can't wait to see what he is like in Boston now. At number 6, I have Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren, in 63 games last year with Memphis, averaged 18 points, 6 rebounds and assists, a steal, and 3 blocks, shooting 50% from the field and 35% from 3. He won Defensive Player of the Year, made the All-Star team for the first time. He had a really good year, which is crazy because if you don't even remember, he missed a lot of the first part of the season, due to having an off-season foot surgery. And then he came back and just was the best he's ever been. Scoring-wise, he took a lot of, steps there, being more consistent over there, especially in the time when Ja Morant was out near the end of the year. He was taking a lot more accountability into his hands. Of course, the shot blocking ability was amazing. When Defensive Player of the Year was really anchor inside for really good Memphis defense. And yeah, he's just super good. He's still only 24 years old. He's still 24, which is crazy to think about. It feels like he's been in the league for so long. He's still 24 years old. He still has so much time left to keep growing, keep being more consistent. Of course, people want him to be a better rebounder, and the fouls are still a thing as well. You got to cut that down. But I think he's going to have a really good year this year in Memphis. Especially with Ja out still for the first 25 games, Jaren's going to have a lot more on his plate, and we're going to see what he can do with it. At number 5, I have Bam Adebayo. Bam, in 75 games last year in Miami, averaged 20 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal, while shooting 54% from the field. He made the All-Star team again last season. Bam, I love Bam, honestly. Bam is probably one of my favorite centers in the league. I mean, he can just do so much. On the offensive end, he can be the guy that brings the ball up. He has great passing ability for his size, great ball handling ability for his size. Just plays, is super high IQ, plays super well in the Miami Heat system. And when he is aggressive, he can score. That's the only thing really about him is his aggressiveness. Sometimes waivers between games and stuff like that. Like, really, he can dominate, but he just doesn't really do that on the offensive end scoring-wise that much. He does that on other ends, but defensively is just where he brings so much value. Being a big that, even though he is undersized for a lot of big men, makes it up for his defensive ability. He can block shots, he can get steals, he can guard the perimeter, he can guard the interior. Just so versatile as a center. We don't really see versatile centers like him too much. So when they do come around, it's just great to see. I love Bam Adebayo a lot, and now he's gonna be big for Miami. Miami obviously after the finals run last year, they're losing a lot of key pieces. I'm just trying to see what Bam can do. Bam can take another step, be a lot more consistent offensively. I hope he can do that, because if he can, man, he can really be dangerous. Number 4, I have Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis in 79 games last year in Sacramento, averaged 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists, shooting 61% from the field, 37% from 3 on 1 and 10 per game. He made the All-Star team, made All-NBA, led the league in rebounds. He had just an insane year. The Kings in general had an insane year last year, but Sabonis, man, I don't even remember the stat. 19, 12, and 7 as a center. Like that those are amazing numbers. Leading one of the best offenses we've seen with the Sacramento Kings as well. And being kind of the focal point a little bit of it. Of course, with De'Aaron as well. But with him, kind of being in some ways a lead ball handler, getting a lot of offense initiated with, handoffs and pick and rolls, and just really good passing ability, passing IQ for a big man. being one of the last kind of like bruiser type centers where he's not gonna shoot a lot of threes or have a lot of finesse game and stuff, but he's just gonna go down low in the post, back you down, and get an easy layup, you know. And the passing ability, of course, and then defensively, even though he's not the biggest, he's not the greatest interior defender, he can make it work, you know. So yeah, I mean, Sabonis just had an insane season last year, one of the better big men in the league, and I'm interested to see how the Kings play this year now. At number 3, I have Anthony Davis. Davis in 56 games last year in LA, averaged just under 26 points per game with 12.5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks, shooting 56% from the field and 25% from 3. AD probably arguably had his best year in LA since the championship run, you know. 26, 12, and 2, a steal, and 2 blocks. Great. Had shot a career high from the field. Had a career high in rebounds. Like, he had a really, really good season, you know. Especially in the playoffs as well, where he had some good games. In the playoffs, he averaged 22, 14, and 2 with 1.4 steals and 3 blocks per game. The only thing really that we need is the consistency, because of course he had a thing in the playoffs where he have 30 and 12, and then have a game where he have 16 and 7. You know, so it's like we kind of need the consistency. We need that AD every night. That's really the only thing, and the injuries as well. Obviously, that's always going to be a thing for him. But really, I'm more about the consistency, because even if he's not playing 82 games, you know, if he's just, when he is playing out there and he's dominating, that just brings so much to the Lakers, you know. And that's a big year for him and for the Lakers as well, you know, because this is kind of a lot of people talking about maybe this could be the year of the passing of the torch from LeBron to AD, you know. So will AD take that step and AD be kind of the guy that we all thought he was going to be in LA, you know? That's going to be big for him. At number 2, I have Joel Embiid. Embiid in 66 games last year in Philly, averaged 33 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block while shooting 54% from the field and 33% from 3. Won the MVP last season. Was amazing. You know, it was amazing. 33 and 10. Crazy numbers. I feel like because of the run that Nikola Jokic had this year in the playoffs, and with Philly losing out in the second round again, especially in the way they did, a lot of people discrediting Joel Embiid. But I mean, Joel is still one of the best in the game. I think we all know that. It's just really going to be about how really it's about playoff success now. You know, he's got the regular season awards. He's got the MVP now. He's made All NBA. He's made All Defensive. Made All-Star team. Won scoring championship. Like, he's done everything, you know, that he needs to do as far as awards and the regular season stuff like that. He's been on great teams. Now the only thing really is just the playoff success. That's the one thing that hasn't been there yet. You know, he's been losing the second round dang near every year of his career. You know, so really the only thing left is playoff success. And is that going to be in Philly? I don't think so. You know, especially with the whole James Harden thing going on now. How long is he going to be in Philly? And just with the East, guys like Boston and Milwaukee making moves to get better, and New York, Cleveland, teams like that on the rise, it's just going to be really tough for him to win and have success in Philly. You know what I mean? So Joel probably won't be in Philly that much longer, but I mean, whoever gets him, if he does leave, you know, he's great. He is really great. And our number 1, no big surprise here, Nikola Jokic. Jokic in 69 games in Denver last year, averaged 24.5 points, 11 rebounds, and almost 10 assists, with the steal, shooting 63% from the field and 38% from 3, and won Finals MVP last season. But yeah, Jokic really just established himself, you know. 2 years prior, he won MVP 2 times in a row, and then last season people started kind of discrediting him, all that stuff, because they don't think he was worthy of winning 3 MVPs in a row and doing all that. But then in the playoffs, he shut everybody up in the playoff run. Championship run, he averaged 30 points, 13.5 rebounds, 9.5 assists, a steal and a block, shooting 54% from the field and 46% from 3. Just an absolute dominant playoff championship run and capping off with a Finals MVP, winning the first one ever for Denver. Just, yeah, he's amazing. I mean, he can really there's not many wrongs to him on the court. You know, he can score, he can get you in the post, inside. He can get you in the mid-range, get you in the three-point shot. What really separates him is his passing ability, you know? Like, he's literally a point guard in a center's body. It is crazy. And then defensively, he's improved a whole lot as well. So, yeah, Jokic is the best big in the league, arguably the best in the world right now. And, yeah, man, there's not really much argument to having Jokic number 1. But yeah, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications also for that. Really appreciate it. Really a lot. If you missed any of the other position rankings of the top 10s we've done, go back, watch them. They're all on my channel, obviously, of course. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.